Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live back in the flesh, live and direct, all of that stuff there. What's good? What's everyone saying? There's only one 3-point collector in the room this week.
All good.
That's why he's wearing his top.
Come on, you know me. I'm always wearing the vintage. But I thought, let me just bring out last season's kit. You know what I mean?
Swear down, yeah. Something light.
Ham's never got the current season, you know.
You know, like that.
Hey, listen.
He's always doing retrospective.
Trust me. Always looking back, never looking forward.
You get me? I need my own thing.
I hear you. I'm seeing the hair growth. I respect it. I respect it. Looking like Jadakiss and that. Okay.
Hey, forget the hair growth, bruv. Look at the trim.
Someone said that Jose is making your thing go back though.
Listen. Spurs have been pushing my thing back for years now, bro. People are just clocking now.
I hear it. But before we dive into anything, make sure you're following the socials. That's Stoppage Time TV on Instagram, Stoppage Time TV on Twitter, 360 TV on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe so all of the content is coming direct to your phones. We're live, we're here. Listen, we're one of the best to do this.
Turn on notifications.
This is it, man. Make sure you get live, straight, direct. As soon as it lands, just the same way that West Ham gave Chelsea licks. Let's get straight into that anyway. So, first things first, I apologize to the gentlemen in group chat with official letter, and I would like to apologize to them on camera as well.
Can you read out your statement, please?
No, that's a private statement.
We need the community.
There's government names. There's government names in there. If you want me to bet the governments, I don't mind, did it? But no, obviously I have to apologize because I'm not really on this flexing thing, innit? Like I'm on the humble thing. And I tried the flex thing, but it kind of backfired for me.
What was your flex?
I was saying that, listen, obviously, if when we beat West Ham, slap up my clip in it. But obviously it didn't pan out like that. And that game was
got ahead of themselves.
It's just the moment, man. You know, Project Restart, I wasn't expecting football to come back. I saw a few results.
All of us.
I got ahead of myself. I thought, we're in here, innit?
It happens to all of us,
let's talk about the game, man. The biggest takeaway from the game for me is, and again, because we've got a lot of stuff going to Antonio, right? Let's be real. I've got a lot of respect for Antonio. Tooting Mitcham's a local club kind of in South London. I respect his grind and everything. But it's fair to say there's a lot of footballers in the world that look at Antonio starting for a Premier League side and they say, if he's starting for a Premier League side, I should be making it. Like,
I can do it.
Is that fair to say? That's not out of pocket. That's fair to say,
that's
right?
harsh. That's harsh, but I hear what you're saying.
Exactly.
In the technical sense, especially.
Exactly. So when you've got a man like that who puts an absolute clinic, goal and assist, it just tells you everything that you need to know. It just tells you everything you need to know.
He thrives on these type of games.
It's not even the type of games. He thrives on them. He thrives on those sorts of defenders. He lives for a defender that he can pin. He lives for a game that he can just batter. And the thing is, right, we have to remember that there's intelligence that comes with the way he plays. Like, it's not just physicality. He's very intelligent. The goal he scored, doesn't get the pen. He does the little pass move, puts it in. The goal, the assist he gets, he good space, good space to pin someone. You know exactly where you're pinging the ball to. And even if a Yarmolenko doesn't score there, he's running in behind, getting ready. So like, the intelligence of his play it's not spoken about enough. But
for someone who's not known for his passing, that pass was on point, bro.
It was, especially think about it, if you've been running for that long in the game, and to deliver that pass, I respect it because Rudiger was running for the whole game, and because it was the 89th minute and he's probably unfit, he forgot that this guy's going to come onto his left. Boy, but that's another discussion.
Now my question is, what was Rudiger thinking? Because surely as the last man and as like a elite defender, what some Chelsea fans would call, you would know you're the last man, and when the pass is about to be played, you should step up to play him offside. Yeah. Rudiger instead decides to, you know what, I'm going to get involved in a foot race because he loves that. He loves the physical, I'm the big, strong, quick defender. And he got exposed completely, got taken out wide, got cut inside left for dead. And it's like, mate, use your brain. And even just before that, for the goal from the corner, if you saw the ball was there and he crumbled to the pressure,
kicked it out.
Where you should kick it out on a touchline or for a throw.
He didn't need to kick it out. Fuad, he didn't need to kick it out.
It's basic level.
Let me break down something quickly. So top 10 teams in the Premier in the Premier at the moment. Top 10. Who do you reckon has conceded the most goals?
You guys have lost.
Chelsea.
Most of the
No, it's Burnley.
I know you have had a weak
It's Burnley, and then we're second.
Definitely up there.
We've conceded 44 goals in the top 10. Guess how many set pieces we've conceded? How many set piece goals? 12.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was many.
12 out of 44.
Point this season.
12 out of 44.
All right, that makes sense. But then when you look at it, then if that's the case, then why are you not doing so much chest in the gym? When are you guys going to work on the legs? Because Lampard's signing Ziyech, he's signing Werner, he's linked with Havertz. I'm not hearing a centre-back you're linked with.
Nope.
And the left-back you're linked with is Chilwell. He's not even defensively good. Well, so everything that
today,
you don't want to do
I've seen Digne.
So if you think this is going to change,
you're in for a
big surprise, bro. Because the way it's looking, Rudiger and Christensen are your back two next season.
Yeah,
bro.
no. So
no links with centre-backs.
When we spoke about a few weeks ago, I was saying that I don't know what direction the club wants to go in. Maybe they think because they've got they've got Rudiger, Christensen, a few young centre-backs, they want to give that a try. But for me, what is evident, and we have to address the bigger picture here, is the whole defensive line and shape as a whole. It's not of quality. Alonso shouldn't be playing games with Chelsea anymore.
Who's this down to?
Listen, Alonso at some points was saving Chelsea this season.
He was. No, that goes without saying. But defensively,
dissing him now. Chelsea fans will be quick to diss him defensively. But Alonso's been the same thing. Going forward, he offers a lot, but defensively, he's dead.
But we have to address it.
Unit,
the captain.
We have to address it.
Targeted from corners.
Yep, and I'm glad you meant. This is the perfect example. So for me, right, let's break it down. Is it Shuyek? His name is.
Shuyek.
I'll call him West Ham Fellaini, innit? This guy, he scores the first goal, right? And no one thinks to say, you know what, we're bad on set pieces. This guy is like 6'4". Tammy, you're 6 foot whatever. Why is Tammy on the goal line? Why is Tammy not with that man? Why is Asby with the tallest man? Who is organising? Is it Kepa? Bro, is it Rudiger? Is it Christensen? Is it the captain? Is it Marcus Alonso?
It's meant to be Aspie.
No. But it's the thing.
Aspie, you wear the armband.
No, but bro, it's not even just about wearing the armband. In terms of defensive unit, yeah. In terms of, for me, for professional footballers, I don't care what level you're playing at. I expect someone within the defensive line to be able to speak up and say, you know what, we need to be doing this. And I often expect my goalkeeper to be doing stuff as well in terms of, you know what, boys, I can see everything, this, that, and that. I had a conversation with a few United fans. I asked them, I said, you know what, when you man signed De Gea, how long was he bad for and what was he good at when he was bad? And people said he was bad for about a season and a half and he turned it around. He didn't command his box and he wasn't good with aerial threats, but he was a good shot stopper. And I said, okay, cool. But Kepa's not even doing that for us. So I don't understand. I can't have optimism with Kepa anymore. Like I've tried, but as of January, he had the worst save percentage.
Ain't it 3 shots yesterday, 3 goals?
Yep, 3 shots, 3 goals. In January, he had the worst save percentage.
So he can't even save.
Goalkeepers. But this is what I said 2 weeks ago. He can't do the basics. And when I said what I said, Ben Foster was the wrong name to say. But you understand the president. Someone that just can catch the ball, catch it, and throw it into good positions. Like,
where's Rob Green?
Rob Green's retired, bro.
That is Slayton Surrey somewhere, bro.
Real talk.
But here's the thing, I don't even want to focus too much on Kepa because we know what Kepa is, But like, just what Cam was touching on there as well, like where your defensive core, there is no talks of it being fixed or anything like that. And one thing I've seen this season is Lampard continuously rotate the centre backs.
It's not good for anyone, is it?
Tomori was getting a 5-year deal and he was the future.
That kid.
He's injured.
Tomori's injured. Zuma at one point, do you remember you were saying he was actually looking like one of Chelsea's most improved?
Yeah.
Out of the picture now completely. And then Christensen's wormed his way back in, not looked good. But here's the thing, Declan Rice yesterday, I thought almost put up an audition to come sign for Chelsea. And I thought that was like,
Let me pause here.
And he balled out that game. I'm not going to lie to you. Do you think Chelsea now next season in the summer are going to say that's our centre-back or our DM solution?
Let me pause here. So again, Cam, we had this conversation. I think we spoke about it on air probably about 4 months ago when we said Declan Rice would be a very suitable centre-back option. Here's my thing, right? I would take him centre-back all day, every day. I think he has the makings to become a centre-back. My thing with it is... So? Yeah, I think he's a good leader. He can read the game well. He passes well. He was a centre-back. He was centre-back. My thing is...
But he wasn't great. That's why he moved to midfield.
He was decent. No, he was decent, but they needed more protection.
He saw him as a good football player, so he wanted him...
Exactly. But Cam, on touching on this, so we've got other stuff to go in. If you look at Declan Rice now, he's gone from a centre-back to, when he started playing holding mid, a centre-back playing holding mid, to becoming a holding mid. And if anyone's been watching him, he's not been playing good for the last few games. He's been balling out for the whole season. I don't see him as a defensive mid anymore. He's showing qualities that he can actually play centre mid. I think that's fair to say. Like he's become more progressive. He shows his passing range a bit more now. There's been a few games in terms of where he's actually dribbling out, like getting more attackive. So for me, it's like in terms of that player's profile, would he want to come and chill playing centre back now? That's the question you got to ask yourself. We let him go. We let him go. We let him go.
It's not all about as well about the centre backs as well. Obviously, Chelsea centre backs ain't great, but bringing a 21-year-old to try and save your back line is still going to be risky anyway. The way I see it is, if Declan Rice comes in, listen, let's stop all the fancy stuff with Jorginho and Kante that can't find any role in their 11. Let's get back to bait. Look at the impact that Matic made on Manchester United when he came in. We were fuffling around with McTominay running around everywhere. Matic came in and said, "Listen, I'm just a defender. I'm going to protect
bread and butter.
Protect the left-hand side. I'm going to protect the right-hand side. I'm going to protect my back four. That's it. The rest, everything else is a bonus. Passing it forward, pinging it like he got the other day. That's all a bonus. Declan Rice or whoever. Chelsea need to get someone that's in front of those boys as well. Yeah, that's just going to marshal.
Did you not say Kante's there already?
That's the thing. Kante marshals.
Because imagine if Chelsea sell Kante and Jorginho, though,
I think
bring in Rice. That is a lot of pressure on Rice to replace Kante and Jorginho and say, you're now going to fix not only our centre-back issues, but the defensive mid as well. I think that's too much for Arsenal.
I'm not saying come out here and sell Kante or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, listen, Kante, he played well at France, yeah? He played well with France. Had an awful final, but I won't get into that. He played well with France in a two. Player.
He's in the two.
A better footballer than him in Pogba. He did it with Leicester, with a player that's a better footballer than him in Drinkwater. He did it with Chelsea.
That sounds like an insult.
Yeah, but he's a better football player than him in Matic. Kante is now being given the job after Chelsea fluffing around and putting him to be like number 10. And
it's almost like he's having to get used to playing number 6 again.
You're just getting...
No. It's not... He's always played in the 2. He's never been the base. He's always played in the 2.
You're getting Kante and you're just basically saying, oh, we think you're a world-class player, but you're just going to have to play anywhere. That's how it is. And the way I see it, bro, he's not a defensive midfielder. He can't build attack well. And he's, in my opinion, he gets popped around when he's playing in defensive midfield.
Let me interject there, but not every defensive midfielder has to build play. Like, look at John Obi Mikel like everyone used to call him sideways pass, but like what you said, he would win the ball and he would recycle it. I think what Chelsea need to really think about is, and it's what you alluded to, like again, we can. Ziyech, I'm happy Ziyech is coming in because another issue, we talked about the defense, but yesterday our 2 goals came from free kick and a penalty, and it was because Pulisic was dribbling. We didn't really break lines, we didn't really create anything. So Ziyech coming in should solve that. But because Asby's got our most assists in the Premier League, if you didn't know, I think he's got 4 or 5 assists, which is crazy. He got 2 in one game. But with Chelsea, we need to address that situation at the back. And does that mean we have to cut our losses on Kepa? Most likely. Does it mean that we need to really look at a centre back? Because again, like, if you look at Chelsea, can you comfortably say, you know what, Rudiger, I'm comfortable with Rudiger being with a centre back in a partnership? I can't say that. I'm not too comfortable with it. I'm not too comfortable with him being like, and that's not a fault on him. I just don't think that he is that sort of defender. It's for me, it's very similar to saying that, you know what, right now, like Gomez, you're my A centre back. I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
But again,
I think in the summer for me, I think if you lot get Declan Rice, Lucas Digne, I think those are 2 smart investments. Rather than Chilwell and breaking the bank and, I don't know, trying to sign Havertz for like 90 million or whatever. Get a centre-back, a DM who can kind of prove versatile in Rice, a youth product. And then Lucas Digne, for me, is one of the most underrated left-backs in the Premier League.
If I was Lampard, exactly. If I was Lampard, I'll look at it right now and I'll be like, listen, I need to build from the back up, because all of this type of stuff, Chelsea create chances and stuff. We know that. You just got Werner. You're not going to be having Tammy fluffing around up there anymore. Well, Chelsea create chances regardless.
I apologize for the Tammy stuff as well. That's a public apology.
Yeah, Chelsea create chances, so you know Chelsea are still going to score goals. You got Werner, you got Ziyech now. I would, as you said, forget Havertz right at this point. look at what you've got back there and sort it out immediately, because Chelsea, continue with this back line, you will continue to be in trouble next season.
It needs to be addressed.
Touching on Tammy Abraham as well. Lampard signing Abraham was a bad choice. Listen, the Tammy Abraham, the guy has scored 14 goals this season in the league.
Scored one.
I feel like I've been saying 14 for 10 years. When you look at, and I heard, it's not a record that I really be watching too much, but I heard that Tammy hasn't scored one. Well, maybe he might have scored one since October, first of all. And what was the other thing as well? He hasn't scored in 21 individual games this season. So really and truly, where he got a hat-trick against Wolves, really and truly, the guy is the definition of stat padder at the moment. And it's facts only, because he's done nothing. And there's people that will look on the outside in and say, oh, no, Tammy's had a good season. Yeah, okay, maybe you can say that because you've seen 14 goals, but he's really not. His 14 goals, compare that to...
Just a quick one on him, because I'm conscious of time.
Especially because Giroud started firing as well with the restart. He started a banging form, like scored in the last game. I think Giroud, the link-up play has been a massive part to Chelsea's game, I think, when he's played. You lot definitely missed that.
Yeah, a quick one on him, like with Tammy, like... and that's why football's such a funny game. Like if you talk about technical ability and whatnot, Tammy's never going to be in your top strikers. The reason why it's so hard with Tammy is because he's given the chance. He got the goals, but even if you look at the points he won us and whatnot, he won us a good chunk of points. He scored a majority of goals. In terms of him being a footballer, though, it's not sustainable, and that's what this season has showed. Like he had that purple patch, but he's not managed to recollect that form. And even when he's playing at the moment, nothing seems to be going right. And he's showing his quality. I don't think that's an issue next season when you've got Werner and everything. And this is where people need to really look at stuff, because people are saying that, well, if Werner comes, well, he because of Tammy, Werner's going to be pushed out left. No. The person who's the best centre forward at the club is going to play, and that's how it goes. Like no one's. Potentially, this is it. He's signed an extension. Mishy's out the door. Tammy's probably not starting, so God knows what happens there. But again, like it all comes down to eye test on football at the end of the day. Like it's good that you can get.
He's just not good enough. He's just not good.
Listen, that's it.
What do you think of the new quickly?
What's that? Listen, I told you, it looks like a training kit, and it's so ironic here that we wore that kit and held 3 goals. That's what I have to say. That kit is cursed already. But next one.
Move on. What is your thoughts on the league table now?
My thoughts are, I still think we're going to finish third. I still think that, like, after that, sometimes you need that kind of kick in the gut to say, you know what, stop effing about, because this is not just a this season problem. This happened the season before. I fancy Chelsea as well, because just Chelsea as a club are just, they never, when they have a target, they usually get it in everything. And again, I told you, man, Leicester are still going to continue to drop.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Jamie Vardy is that if they can't find him, they won't score. If Ndidi not playing well, they're going to concede. Maddison's not there, they're not going to create. That's it, job done, finished, done.
With the case, when the way Lampard was speaking, he was speaking like he's very, very kind of fed up with these cropper boys, cropper players, and that's not the best thing to be doing when you're going into the last final 6 games. He kind of sounded like he's given up with these guys.
But Cab, not to interject on you, not to interject on you.
Jose is coming out.
But what did I tell you before? This patch of games now is a mini preseason, and I told you every single player in that change room proved you deserve to be at Chelsea Football Club. Whether you're young, whether you're OAP, this is a player that won everything. And he, like we've said, like the managers you're around have a big influence on you. This guy was around Jose Mourinho and Jose Mourinho's good years. So the way he thinks is going to be very close to that. I need the best players. I need the best results. If you're not doing that for me, I can't have you around, because I like winning. I'm addicted to winning. Like, I would leave my team and come back and score against my team. That's my mentality. So you have to show me the same. That's it, period. So, boy, listen.
I think Lampard's got that ruthless streak in him. He'll bring it out.
Of course, but he needs to stop being too kind as well. Like, starting Tammy was kind.
But to be honest, I don't think he's being too kind, because he hooked them 3 boys off at the half time the other day.
The FA Cup.
Many times dug some of these players out. He looks absolutely fed up with Tammy. I don't think Lampard, the thing about Lampard is that he's having to chop and change too much. That's because he can't make up his mind. But next season, I'll probably be clearer.
He's doing well, but we have to admit.
There's a lot of players at Chelsea that are going to have to look at themselves.
They're looking at themselves now.
like Loftus-Cheek, I know he's just back from injury. Look at himself. Mount, look at yourself. There's a lot of that club. It's not sight.
Listen,
I would even say Barkley. Barkley's one of the people that are actually saying, hold on, I actually want to play for Chelsea here. Like, for me, he actually looks like Lampard actually likes him for a reason, because he goes out and
like all of these players have to prove themselves. Because remember, there's only 11 places on the pitch, and that's how it is. But listen, we spoke about Lampard's father.
Who need to step
Lampard's father. What are we telling me? Let me toss it over to you. What are we saying?
Bro, where do we start? Like, let's start with Ndom.
I'll tell you what. Let's start with you saying that you wanted hope. Is all hope of what's gone
listen. Well, that game, put it that way. Well, you lot losing yesterday, I thought, do you know what? We could be 6 points behind Chelsea and 3 points behind United with a win in that game. Let me see if this club, because before the game, he was talking about this is a must-win. And I said, hey, let me see if it's a must-win. Doesn't even start Ndom. After saying before the game he's going to start Ndom. And do you know what? He come with a interesting quote as well before it, where he was saying, like, Spurs need to get out of this small club mentality where you can't have quality players on the bench. The problem is the players who are starting aren't quality. So you can't tell me I'm going to leave the quality on the bench. Like, for example, Bergwijn playing in the 10 today. I had no problem with Bergwijn's performance. But Mora offers nothing. I'm sorry, all season this season, he's offered nothing. I feel like Ndom could have played in the middle there, Lo Celso in the 10, Bergwijn out wide. That's one thing. And 65 million you pay for the guy. I just cannot fathom why. Because you saw the difference. When he came on, you lot saw the difference when Ndom got on the ball. Baller. But listen, the VAR situation as well. Absolute shambles. The amount of times VAR this season. I mean, just yesterday, the Antonio situation. The Sheffield United handball, was it last week or the week before? Like, constantly throughout this season has been absolute bullshit. This defense, I've beaten them enough. I've already said what I need to say. Like, Aurier, Dyer, Ben Davis, we know we've been there. Lo Celso today was actually surprisingly poor for one of the few bright spots this season. This is actually one of his worst games I've seen.
I think Jose's comments probably just like, sometimes the energy in the world, when he said, I would rather take Lo Celso than Fernandes. You always knew that this sort of performance would probably come off the back. He said that before the game. Yeah, he said that he would take Lo Celso with Fernandes. And
don't play yourselves, boys.
But listen, I've spoken on that defense enough anyway. There are shambles. And the midfield today, no creativity whatsoever. But it's not even the creativity I want to touch on. It's the lack of service to Harry Kane. Like, too often, I'm not even joking, on this pod, sometimes even through other platforms, Harry Kane gets bashed for, he doesn't get involved or he drops too deep or whatever. But we've got two wingers in Son and Bergwijn or even Mora, who when they get the ball, their first thought in their head is look down, dribble and try and shoot. It's never, let me get down the byline and cross to Harry Kane. Let me play a cross or a through ball into Harry Kane. It's always attack for themselves almost. Harry Kane cannot live off no service. Today, the few crumbs and drops he had, he actually almost made something of them. Yeah, scored twice, like offside goal or whatever, disallowed goal. So for me, I feel like 100%. And when Harry Kane is showing forms of life, you got to take advantage of that. I'm being honest with you. Like, over the last 6 months, we ain't seen much of that. So this squad needs to play a little bit towards that. And today, I saw none of that.
No, that's the thing. Like that's a good point, because we spoke about that obviously privately as well. Like, in terms of the way Spurs wingers play and stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, look, it's very easy to see that Harry Kane's, maybe his legs or his fitness ain't as good as it was, in it. Injuries might be taking a toll, whatever.
Yeah.
But what you got to do, right, when you have a player like that, who obviously we know is absolutely deadly in the box, or whatever. You gotta play. You gotta try and support him, because at the end of the day, he's seen as your best player. He's not just like
100%
player that's playing there. He's one of your best players. So with the two wide men, they've got to be Son. I thought Son is meant to be some both-footed magician where you can't cross it with your left foot. He's only cutting in right all the time. But anyway,
because he's shooting.
When you've got the two wide men, they need to be getting down the line, as you said, and crossing it. And the perfect example is, I'm going to give you two examples. You've got Bayern Munich. Lewandowski is however old he is, right? He can play for another 4 years, because now Sane's come. Gnabry's going to be on the side. Thank you. Just cross it to me in the box. Anywhere in the box, I'm going to bury it.
Come on, that even Muller drops off to the leg.
A perfect example, right, is Ruud van Nistelrooy at Manchester United, bro. Crosses were flying in. He was banging bare goals. Cristiano Ronaldo came, started dancing around. He was like, hold on, bro. You're not going to ruin my prime. You're not ruining my prime or my last few years. Me waiting around for you. I'm out of here. Straight up. And that's the way I see it with Harry Kane, bro. Harry Kane is a goal scorer in the mold. He has now become in the mold of Van Nistelrooy. Before he was a little bit, maybe you can say he can drop deep and do a little bit of things. Now I don't see him doing that.
Even with that dropping deep, Cam, just on that, like the reason why sometimes I feel like he has to drop deep is because he wants the involvement. His wingers are not getting him involved. His midfield is not creating. So he's like, do you know what? Let me go deep and get the ball myself. Like,
bro. I fully.
Isn't that what Rooney used to do though?
Back then, what I'm saying is, back then there was, in his prime or when he was fit all the time.
It just gets extended.
He was pretty decent at doing that, but now it's a situation where I do think it's now like I need to do it because I'm not going to get the ball. But the way I see him is in the mold now of like a Van Nistelrooy, where he needs to be just in the box and burying like how he did today. And he's not going to get that unless you guys get the right wingers around him. And when you look at it, it was very telling that Dele Alli's on the bench today as well. Because when Jose Mourinho first started, we thought, this is his prodigal son.
Revived.
Dele Alli's alive now. Bro, again, he just jumps off a cliff. And what that mustache is about as well. Let me not even. But bro,
let's stick to the football.
But when I look at it though, I'm very, very concerned for what Dele Alli's role is in this Tottenham squad. And I said before, like I've said it many times, I don't need to repeat it about what I think about Spurs' future and Jose. I don't want to go into that again. But Dele Alli himself was meant to be kind of like you see it, like maybe the future captain of Spurs. Like he's going to be that guy.
The symbol of the club,
to see Dele Alli at the club in 2-3 years, bro.
Bro,
I'll be honest.
Do you remember a couple episodes ago, Maze, you asked me the question?
Yeah, you said.
Remember, Maze, you asked me the question of Lucas Moura and Ali. Why do I want to get rid of them? Yeah. It's exactly this. It's you don't know which Ali's going to turn up. So where we're saying now he's fallen off a cliff. I don't have the patience to watch this inconsistency levels. While he's still got value and he's good enough now, I say we offload him in the summer. Get that profit in. Because I think a club in the Premier League will still be able to buy, and his wages are not ridiculous.
But Fuad, that's the key thing.
It's easy to be able to offload him. And for me, I can't see a place for him. If we're saying we want to see more of Ndom, Ndom takes that number 8 role, Lo Celso pushes into the number 10. Ali is not needed like before, where it was the Kane and Ali link up. That doesn't exist anymore. It's been 2-3 years since we saw that.
That is his actual issue, because at the end of the day, we always said that he can't play centre mid. He's not a central attacking midfielder. He's a second striker. And I don't know many teams in world football that are playing with a second striker right now. So
now we see the real Ali. Now we'll see the real Ali once he leaves.
But we said this, like we probably said this a year ago, but the situation is, who takes a chance on him if they don't play that system? Do you get me?
If Newcastle get that money, I can see him being the face of their project.
I heard that. Listen,
Everton get rid of Sigurdsson and all these other... Everton make a dumb 50 million signing every season.
I heard
Listen.
We've got about 10 minutes left.
First shit show goes on, we need to sim to the end of the season, bro.
Hey, yo, Cam, tell me about United in less than a minute. Tell me about...
Hey, he was saying Oli might be back at the wheel.
No, I'm only messing many things in their people, you know what I mean? But the way I see it, right? Listen, but I already told you, man, I'm reserving my judgment for Ole for now. I'm just sitting there, you get me? I'm just fencing.
Yeah.
But when it gets there, but with Man United, listen, Carragher said it today, but I said it about 2 weeks ago. It's now no crowd, no nothing. It's now just straight about, is your 11 better than my 11? Simple. You see what City did to Liverpool? It's because City's 11's better, mate. Simple as that. There's no crowd. There's none of that. No energy to feed off and the 12th man and all that rubbish. It's simply, is your 11 better than my 11? And now most teams that Manchester United come up against with Pogba and Bruno and that in the team, our 11's better than your 11. And the proof's in the pudding at the moment. We're smoking these guys. Do you know what I'm trying to say? We're smoking them. Bruno is a revelation. Easily the startest signing of the season. And it's not even been how many games? Easily the signing season. It's not even comparison. The guys lifted the club. Like when you look at Manchester United, we're right now as perfect week for us. Everyone's just losing. You know what I mean? But the way you look, when I look at Manchester United, it's like it's a feel good at the moment. I feel like we're gonna end the season very, very strongly. And listen, this is all with Rashford still trying to build his fitness. He hasn't even joined the party yet. Rashford hasn't even joined the party yet, and this is what's going on. Like, listen, it's very.
Is he lacking fitness, or is it just a rough?
I'd say match fitness.
I think Rashford's forcing it, but big time. I think he's
match fitness.
I think he's trying to play his way back into it. But to be honest, we need to be mindful. This is the first time I've ever seen Rashford come back from an injury. So maybe this is how Rashford is going to be one of them players.
He knows what Kane goes through, yeah?
Nah, Kane's a fat youth though, mate.
No, I think it's match fitness, and I think it's that eagerness to try and get that 20 mark. And I don't blame him, like, because
Cam said he was going to smash 25.
Who?
Well, they've got 13 games. If you man go to the finals of everything, you got 13 games. So
you got to look at it. You got to look at it, and just touching on like Greenwood coming in for the final 7 games of the league or whatever.
That finish.
That boy,
Dan James should never start again. Sorry.
Special. And you know what? It's so funny. We all know that Greenwood can bag goals, but the fact that we went and scored off a counter attack with Greenwood leading it, the only reason why Daniel James even plays for Manchester United is because apparently on the counter he's going to be devastating. Greenwood just said, "Sorry, mate."
Dan James should never play again.
That as well.
Yeah,
that right there is special, and he's going to the very top, very, very, very top. Different player there, man.
And for one thing as well, that I heard you touching on during your chat with Rants as well, the lack of depth once the subs are made. Touch on that.
Bro, listen, this is what I mean, and this is what my problem is with United fans, and this is why I say I represent myself, because Manchester United, like, the fans will turn their nose up at Donny van de Beek, they'll turn their nose up at Grealish, and they'll say, "Oh no, we don't need these players. Oh, why do we need?" No, we don't need them. Listen, Man United take off Bruno or Pogba one time, it crashes. We brought on McTom, we brought on AP, and we brought on James. All of a sudden, Brighton were like,
crumbled.
They were like, hold on, it's only 3.
This looks like our level. This looks like our level. Brian said, this looks like our level.
They're peppering shots at the head.
Brian said, this looks like our level.
Yeah.
No joke. The quality between our starting 11 now, our finally found starting 11 to our bench is bad. It's so bad. And the way I see it, you had a Grealish on the bench. Or, bro, look at Rashford. He's dying out there at the moment. If Grealish was there, let me not keep saying Grealish because he might not come.
Anyone of quality.
Enough quality player coming on. You can do things, bro. You can do things. The quality depth, the depth in our squad is so bad. So I'm hoping we address something.
Would you say that's the same issue? Would you say that's the same issue and the segue for Liverpool? I know they just won, but would you say that they have an issue with depth as well?
Liverpool have an issue with depth, but I don't know what it is. I'm still doing my investigation.
I think their 11 has that more consistency though of being together.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
That 11 stay really fit, and maybe the odd person might be injured. But
are you still running your drug scandal agenda? Hey, listen, they've had injuries. You got to cut that. Hey, listen, can we say though, that was the worst guard of honor I've ever seen.
I respect Pep.
Bro, that's borderline disrespectful. No.
I respect Pep for it. I respect Pep for it.
Bro, I don't respect it yet. If you're going to say you're going to do a guard of honor, do it properly.
No.
Otherwise, don't come out and do this fake PR shit.
I respect it. I respect it. I respect it because Liverpool didn't look at that and get angry. Pep said, listen, you men are coming.
They got bopped. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Liverpool should have used that as like a mentality to say, yo, these men don't even respect our team. Let's go slap them up. Instead, you could see who the heavy drinkers were. Because I know Mane and Salah, them man are keeping it halal, but
I think Mane had a Corona.
Gomez,
Robbo, defo.
Hey, Robbo. Let me not even get into it.
Listen, Gomez is too much.
Certain man out there was
Gomez is too much,
today.
man. Like Gomez, like I know he's got his little tiff with Sterling, but he should have let it get to his head, man. You can't
Sterling ran him ragged.
The picture play.
Sterling had a great game. KDB had a great game.
Masterclass again.
From these two, the person is Phil Foden, bro. Now I've mentioned before.
Speak on it.
Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood, it's a special party. It's
Saka.
invite only. It's invite only. With them
Saka
two,
make that.
Bro, big up Saka, bro. Big up Saka. Big up Reece James. Big up whoever else you want to mention. We never really mentioned Sancho because he's kind of established. But if we're talking about top 3, Mason Greenwood, Sancho, and Foden, it's a special party, man. You can't get in that. You can't get in that easily. Them 3 players are special players. And look at what Phil Foden's doing. Like, people keep saying that, oh, he's going to be the direct David Silva replacement. No, bro. Like Phil Foden playing a full season, he is going to put down numbers. He attacks way more than David Silva, and that's what people don't realize. Phil Foden can easily become like a 15-15 player a season.
Yeah.
That attacking.
If he's used right. I think that's always been the one worry though with Foden is the fact that whether he's being used right. And I think
question I'll ask
now since the restart, he's finally we're seeing him. Before we only
of course.
Spurts and small bits.
Pep is teasing us for next season. Pep is like,
I'm telling you,
I know what this guy.
If I was Foden, I'd use the end of this season as a pre-season to show man, listen, I'm coming next season. Watch out, because
England's options for Euro 2021. Now that Foden's like, hold on, you guys thought it's just gonna be Madders. You thought it was just gonna be Madders and then man. Oh, okay. They know more. I'm loading.
The reason why you have to respect it as well is.
And by the way, on a side note, Madders, mate, that guy's jumped off a cliff since January. But anyway, we'll just.
I think he's had his
touch on that another day.
But the reason why you have to respect it as well is like the season for City is kind of just there in it. Like, and again, Phil Foden has this kind of spell where it's no pressure game. Listen, we're not going to win the league. Just go out there and ball out. And I think for the rest of the season, I think that's going to help him. And again, it'll be interesting what happens next season, because then we'll be able to judge and say, has Guardiola managed this situation right? Because there has been a lot of questions about why you're not playing him enough. He's got talent. We'll be able to see next season whether he's handled it right or not. Just a nice quick one, not a nice quick one to finish on, but Saka contract, respect to him. I want to know how much he's getting because he deserves a lot. Apparently, Aubameyang wants to stay as well.
Wouldn't be surprised. I've been saying that's his best option.
Boy, listen, do you what do you reckon? Yeah, apparently Tata came out and said he wants to stay.
I don't really think Aubameyang has much options. I'll be real. I think he's staying out of this.
That as well.
Like, hold on, I ain't got much options. Like, big him up, 50 goals in 70 something games. Quickest Arsenal, one of the top 10.
He's in top 10. Yeah.
Big him up. That's listen, we can't doubt him achievement as a player, but in terms of his options, he's 31 years old. He's going to ask for big wages. Not many clubs are looking for top clubs are looking for a striker right now. So when I look at it, and obviously we know he's quite limited in his game. Do you know what I mean? So because there's teams like Man United that could potentially try and snatch him, but I think he's too limited to play for us for the way we play. We like someone that can like link it up a little bit better. That's why Arsenal have him on the wing. I don't really think there's options for him. They were flirting in Barcelona, but nah.
I think he falls into that age remit that they're looking for, but I don't think they'll do it. But
I think the way
them are sick.
I said 31. Psychos. Good to go.
Them are psychos.
Like, you know what? I'm the club captain here. I'm comfortable. I'm
in London.
I can be a legend here. Yeah. Let me just do my thing. There's no point trying to force it.
No, for real. But listen, Mandem, that's another one. We're gonna have another one soon, obviously.